All right, Dragon Ball Super fans. Now, after watching episode 128, and again, if you don't want spoilers, I would definitely recommend clicking off the video. But thanks for supporting the channel. I just have to say that I did a couple videos on the channel a while ago talking about how I didn't want fusion to happen, but the idea has grown on me a lot more after this episode. Now, I know it's clear that fusion is not going to happen because number one, Vegeta was eliminated, and number two, we're going to get the new mastered Ultra Instinct form of Goku in the next episode. However, I feel like fusion would actually work. Now, let's just say this happened 2 episodes ago or something along those lines. I feel like fusion would actually mean something if it happened during the finale of the Tournament of Power. What do I mean by mean something? I mean, like, unlike the ending of Dragon Ball GT where Vegeta got Super Saiyan 4 with the Blood Wave machine, and then they fused to Gogeta, even though it was a very cool moment, it really didn't add up to anything but fan service because Gogeta didn't get the job done, and the episode ended with those two splitting after maybe 10 minutes. And then the series went on for about, I believe, 3 more episodes before Omega Shenron was finally defeated. Well, yeah, it was 3 more episodes before he was defeated, and then one final episode until we meet again. But I feel like now fusion would actually make sense because Goku and Vegeta pretty much exhausted every technique, every power up in their arsenal. Final Flash, Spirit Bomb, Super Saiyan Blue times 20 with the Kaioken, Ultra Instinct Omen, I believe is the correct term for Goku's usage of the Ultra Instinct, Vegeta's limit breaking form, the Kamehameha wave, instant transmission, Kienzan trying to knock him out of the ring, and the list go. Even a coordinated attack, even Goku, Vegeta, and 17 tried a coordinated attack in the last episode, and it didn't work. And even Vegeta stated in that episode, I believe 127, when he said, I would do anything or whatever it took to defeat this guy. So I imagine Fusion, even though he might be hesitant at first, he would realize, you know what, forget it. We've tried everything else. Might as well fuse. I feel like fusion would make sense due to the fact that Jiren pretty much is now established to be somebody who doesn't trust anybody but himself. He only believes in absolute power. He feels it's useless and pathetic for anybody to put trust in anybody else. And this was shown when, he pretty much scoffed at 17 sacrificing himself. And when Vegeta was eliminated, pretty much, asking Goku why anybody trusted him. I think Vegeta had one of the best lines. Well, he had a lot of great lines, but one of the best lines was when he had memories of Bulma, his family, everybody he was fighting for, and that kind of woke him up in order to get up and fight Jiren again. Even though it was futile, Jiren was like, why do you keep standing? And Vegeta was like, even if I explained it, it wouldn't mean anything to you. Wouldn't be emotionless bastard like you would never be able to understand. I think that was one of the best lines of the episode because it would have been like talking to a brick wall, even though Vegeta should have talked to him because, well, if you're trying to beat out the clock, then that would have been a good strategy. But hey, just saying. No pun intended. But I feel like fusion would have been great because it would have shown Jiren that the absolute power he believes in isn't a bad thing, but an even greater power comes from trusting each other and working together. And then he would have been defeated by a fusion, whether it be Gogeta, Vegeta, who knows. But even further than that, it would have been Goku and Vegeta doing what they swore in Resurrection after they wouldn't do, which was work together or fuse. And to have them fuse while Whis and Beerus were witnessing it would have been epic because, yes, they did fuse during the Merge Zamasu arc and whatnot, but I feel like this fusion would have carried more weight because that fusion was kind of downplayed because Trunks defeated Zamasu, but Zeno came in and just erased the entire situation. But here, the fusion really would have counted because I feel like a fusion between the two now would have definitely been a mastered Ultra Instinct. Then when they split, both Vegeta and Goku would have an idea of how to do it, and then with further training, most likely in the future series, if they decide to continue on, that would have happened rather than Goku getting it in less than like 20 minutes, but I'll do a video on that later. I feel like that fusion would have just been, again, a graduation of sorts because Whis would be overjoyed that his two pupils finally put aside their differences, finally worked together, and then created a warrior that didn't have the lackluster, laid back attitude of Goku, but wasn't as stern, strict, and stiff as Vegeta. That would have been great to see a full power battle between Vegeta or Gogeta versus this Jiren, and he realizes as the battle goes on, even at max power, he isn't able to win. And then we see Jiren for the first time, and I'm guessing Belmu would also see for the first time, Jiren struggling, using all of his power, pushing deeper, but his absolute power and strength wasn't enough, and he's being overcome by two Saiyans who are working together. Saiyans who are the most stubborn race in their universe because of their pride, but they put those differences aside to unite as one to defeat quote unquote absolute strength. And in defeat, Jiren would know that trust isn't something that should be taken lightly. And literally, like Vegeta had to learn this lesson, fighting for somebody else gives you a deeper power that you didn't even know you had, because it was just so touching seeing Vegeta get up over and over again. It did get a bit repetitive, but when we got the Bulma flashbacks and Kaba and whatnot, it really made those moments shine. Because you just look at how Vegeta was like, I'm fighting for the sake of Universe 7. We'll be the ones to survive even if we lose. This isn't the Vegeta from Namek. This isn't Vegeta from, you know, the Android Saga or the Majin Vegeta. It was just amazing to see that. So with that being said, I feel like Fusion could have made sense in this fight. I know it's not going to happen now. I was against the idea to begin with because all the power-ups we've seen in the Tournament of Power, Kefla, and just the list goes on. But I feel like for one of the few instances, a fusion would have made sense. It would have been great to see. And, well, I mean, there's nothing else to say. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Even though it's not going to happen now, it might happen in the manga. You never know. Do you think that fusion would have been a proper way of defeating Jiren, who only believes in himself to be defeated by a Saiyan comprised of two of the most stubborn warriors in the universe, but put aside their differences to trust one another to defeat absolute strength? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later.